Have you ever felt the unsettling quiet in your life when it seems like God is silent? It's a silence that can feel like a void, yet it often holds profound messages waiting to be discovered. Today, we journey into understanding the spiritual significance of divine silence, how it challenges us, shapes us, and ultimately invites us to growth and deeper faith. Imagine the story of Job, a man known for his faithfulness, yet even he encountered long stretches of God's silence amid his suffering. Job says, "Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I do not perceive him. On the left hand when he is working, I do not behold him. He turns to the right hand, but I do not see him." This absence of God's voice was not an abandonment. Instead, it was a divine pause, inviting Job to trust beyond what he could see or hear. Friend, consider how divine silence is not a moment of desolation, but of preparation. It is in these quiet spaces that we become attuned to the whispers of God through other means. Consider Elijah in 1 Kings 19, seeking God in the chaos of wind, earthquake, and fire, only to find him in the sound of a low whisper. God's silence can cultivate in us a deeper awareness, a readiness to hear him not just in grandeur, but in the subtleties of our daily lives. Now, turning to the New Testament, we remember Jesus on the cross. In what seemed like the most deafening silence, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In Matthew 27:46, this was a profound moment that underscores how God's silence sometimes coincides with our greatest trials. Yet the silence was not final. It was a prelude to the victorious declaration of the resurrection, a reminder that silence often precedes God's most glorious works. But how should we respond in these moments? The Psalms provide a rich tapestry of responses to divine silence. Take Psalm 46:10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." This isn't a passive waiting, but an active engagement, an invitation to quiet our hearts and recognize God's sovereignty. It calls us to trust in his timing and his unseen work in our lives. Jesus knew Lazarus was sick. He knew Lazarus was going to die, and yet he told his disciples that they would wait. No doubt Lazarus' sisters, Mary and Martha, felt abandoned and wondered why Jesus was silent in their time of great need. When Jesus did arrive, Martha said, "You are too late. If you had been here, he would not have died." Jesus wept. However, he knew all along what the plan was. He raised Lazarus from the dead, making it one of the greatest narratives of his power over death. No doubt many believed in him because of this miracle. God is always at work. He is always on time, even when he seems silent and absent, and he is not callous to our pain. He hears our slightest sighs and invites our tearful whispers of prayer as we find our rest and comfort in his love and compassion. He will make all things beautiful in his time. As we explore these themes, let us not forget that silence is never the end of the story. Just as Jesus emerged from the tomb, renewing hope for all mankind, so too does God's silence often herald new beginnings in our lives. We must carry the hope of resurrection in our hearts, knowing that silence is but a moment before the dawn of new understanding and growth. We invite you to watch the playlist on your screen for more enriching insights and stories that reveal God's wisdom. Subscribe for more encouraging wisdom from the Bible to accompany you on your spiritual journey. And as we conclude, may God bless you, keep you, and smile upon your life.